Hey YouTubers, good morning. We're doing a book review this morning. Another book by Barbara Ann Kipfer. Over the years, I've read a few of Barbara Ann Kipfer's books. One of my favorites is 14,000 Things to Be Happy About. I did a review of it years ago on my channel. And recently I was going over this book, 5,203 Things to Do Instead of Looking at Your Phone. And I thought it would be fun to do a quick review of it. Um, this Barbara Ann Kipfer's books are some of my favorites because I would read them and find things that I had forgotten about and would click on a memory or a thought about something that made me feel good or made me want to do something or think something or be something that I had forgotten about completely. And it's it's time well spent. You do have one problem with her books and her writing is because they're not going to resonate with everybody. Um, at least everything. But the thing of it is, she has thousands of things in her book, so there's going to be something. And I always say, if you get one good idea from a book, it's worth the time that you spent. But the problem is, it's written from her point of view, and there's 8 billion people on the planet. Number one, she's female, so you have gender differences. Number two, she's of a certain age. She's probably my age or older, so she's thinking about things that is not going to um, click with everybody. Then she comes, I think, from a certain socioeconomic background where she talks about things that wouldn't be something a lot of people who grew up in the projects would know or think about too much. But overall, I think there's something here for everybody. And when I mean everybody, I mean everybody. Even if you're Albanian, which is a made up uh, nationality, there is no Albania, but I know I'll get comments and I am Albanian. What are you talking about? So I hope I haven't made everybody unsubscribe by now. But let's go quickly through the first 10 pages of 5,203 things to do instead of looking at your freaking phone. Because I'm tired of people looking at their phone. You go to a family event and half the people are on their phone. Like, come on. Of course, I spend all my time on the computer. But that's different. You know, I'm better than them. So, like I said, these things aren't going to click and resonate with everybody, all the viewers, all 7 of you. But let's go over the first 10 pages. They're small pages. We'll go over very quickly. Number 1, smile at a stranger. Put a bag in your car for litter. I've been in some cars where the car was litter. Write a letter to your future self. Plan a 24-hour liquid diet. That's very popular at Alcoholics Anonymous. Notice the air on your skin. I remember there was a book written by Douglas Adams, and in the book he talked about making up words for things that existed but had no words to describe them. Notice the air in your skin. One of the words he came up with, I don't remember what the word was, but it described the way your skin felt as you were waiting on a subway train in Chicago. And as the train came, the air would come and would make a feeling on your skin. He came up with a word for that. Do calligraphy for a party invitation. My brother did great calligraphy. Go for a silent drive. If you're driving by yourself and there's no radio on and your car isn't a clunker. I asked one neighbor one time, um, how can you tell if a car is a clunker? And he said, it makes clunking noises. Make an accordion book. Plan a beach day. I plan beach days all the time. The last one I planned, I actually had stuff to go in my car, and I was eating breakfast before I left, and my tooth fell out. I had to go get a crown, $2,800. Good Lord. Visit a botanical garden. Keep a journal of the most beautiful thing you see. Talk to someone who needs company. Actually, people need company, need someone to talk to, not so much being talked at. Design a book cover. Amazon has a cool program that allows you to write kids' books and make book covers, and I made one. I made a book called ABC, American ABCs. It's an ABC book for teaching kids their ABCs. I'll leave a link to it in the video description. It's a really cool book. American ABCs by Robb. Watch a cat drink or eat. That's actually interesting. Play a board game. Those are fun. Try a breakfast burrito. Make your backyard inviting for wildlife. Then your neighbors want to know why you don't mow your freaking lawn. Ask a bunch of questions, which really pisses people off. Make the best case you can for a point of view that you totally oppose. I oppose that point of view. Let me tell you 10 reasons why. Solve what's wrong with this picture puzzle. Follow a bird's flight. On a bicycle? What do you mean? Come up with 10 alternate uses for an object. I have a video on 29 ways to use an empty ketchup bottle. Link in the description. Peruse your adolescent belongings. Create an artist studio. I used to date a girl. She was an artist. She lived in a studio apartment. It was wonderful. Explore a beach in the off season. I've never actually, the best time for me to go to the beach, not the best time, but a cool time, is when it's one of those really rainy days, not lightning, but rainy. Nobody goes to the beach and you go and you're all there by yourself. You got the whole beach to yourself. I have a video of me metal detecting on just such a day. Choose a different name for yourself. I did. You guys think my name is Robb. Close your eyes and study what appears. That is really cool. When you do, you see different things. And I always see a little bit of light on the far right-hand side, like at the corner. I don't know what's going on. I asked my optometrist. He doesn't know either. Change your desk or view. Make a Zen garden. Check out a cute guy or girl. Take the back roads. As I'm getting older, I feel less and less like driving on the expressway. So I am taking the back roads, I guess. Solve a brain teaser. As I get older, invent a cookie. That sounds fun. I mean, that could be fun. Invent a cookie. Pretend to be a great artist. Actually, a month ago I made a full-length feature film comedy. For Joel Haver's Oscar contest. But it took a couple days, so I couldn't enter it because you have to do it in one day. And after I made it, I made another video, like all the things I learned from making my movie. And after I watch it, I listen to myself, and I'm talking like I'm a director or something. Like, so pretend to be a great artist. I watched the video, and it sounded like I'm pretending I'm a movie maker. And I haven't put it up on YouTube because it was embarrassing. Just random stuff like it doesn't appeal to me. And sometimes the improvisation, I think they're getting high on their own supply. You know, it would have been better if they spent a little more time on plot and story and character development and less on their imagination. Because I'm talking about all this stuff. I made one movie that was a little bit better than a home movie. I'm still proud of it. Most fun I've had ever on YouTube, but I was definitely pretending I was a great artist, yeah. Open a book at random and read. Play with a child. Tosh.0, one of my favorite comedians, in one of his shows, I don't remember how, but in his part of the show, he ended up with this little 6-year-old girl on a football field or baseball field having a tea party. And she's passing him little tiny cups of tea in the saucer. And he's saying this is the best day of his life.
Oh! I am all thumbs. This is the best day of my life.
Okay, Emily, Dad.
And looking on his face, I almost think he was serious. Create your day in advance by thinking about the way you want it to go. Plan a butterfly garden. Learn a great synonym for a word you love or use a lot. You moron. Look through a kaleidoscope. I made a video on how to make a kaleidoscope. Link in the video description. Try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud. List all the berries you can think of. Wendell Berry, Dave Berry, Marion Berry, James Berry, Berry Berry. Finish a backlog. Get your car washed. That's what I mean. Who gets their car washed? You wash the car yourself. Nobody in my family ever got their car washed. We wash it. We wash it. Find an intact shell on the beach. Maybe it's like a shell from a cannon or something. Enjoy the aroma of a beverage before the first sip. I can remember being a little kid, must have been like 5 or 6, no older. My dad and mom took me to the American Legion on the Bay, like 61st Street, Northeast, Miami. And sitting in the patio outside, because I wasn't allowed to go in the bar, they gave me a big glass of ginger ale. Never had ginger ale before. Never had soda before. Don't know what we had at home. And I put my nose up to it, and all the little bubbles were tickling my nose, and I could smell the ginger ale, and it was exotic. It still is. It still is. Putting my nose to a glass of ginger ale over ice cubes and hearing the noise of the little bubbles and the smell and the tickling of your nose, it still brings back a flood of memories. Decide what and who you want to care about and pay attention to. I'm an Aries. What can I say? Cook a meal from an unfamiliar ethnicity. Prairie dog. Decorate a box to keep your treasures in. What if your treasures are boxes? Remember to bring everything you need. I used to entertain the thought of putting a note on the door of all the things I should have in my pockets when I leave the house, because I'd get somewhere and I'd realize I left it at home. Put on a puppet show. I think I did a video. Check the back of your mind to see if there are any ideas lurking. There's too much going on in the front, lurking. This is what I was talking about. Learn 14 ways to fold a napkin. I've never folded a napkin. Well, I have been places where they folded napkins, but still. That reminds me, I read a story years ago about when the communists took over Cambodia. Some of them would watch people eating in a public area, and if they dabbed their mouth with a paper towel or a cloth after they ate, they would take them out and shoot them or make them work in the fields. I'm not laughing. It's just like, wow. Help a child find unexpected ways of playing with household objects. Complete a book proposal. Use a gift someone gave you. That's important. Make a wish list. Write a setting for a play or story. Throw away all the unhealthy food in your cabinets. Explore the attic. Tell someone how great they look. That's good. So often people will say, you look tired, you look sleepy. That is never helpful. When has it ever helped anybody? Drive to a beach. Great thing about living in Florida, almost any direction you go, eventually you get to a beach. Catch a butterfly in the palm of your hand and let it go. Of course you would let it go. You wouldn't keep it there. But I made a video of me getting paid on a ship in the Panama Canal catching monarch butterflies. One of my favorite videos. I'll leave a link in the video description. Put your favorite chair in front of a window. Take something apart and discover how many parts it has. My mom, someone gave her a watch, had 17 jewels. I took it apart to find out what the jewels looked like. She was very unhappy for a very long time. Write down a significant memory from each year of your life. I've kind of done this, and it's worrisome because there's like a year and a half time period. I can't remember what I was doing. It's like I got abducted by aliens or something. It was like there. It's just there's a plank. Study the behavior of someone who won't notice. Walk a child to school. Stop to listen to a street musician. Treat yourself to a favorite food. Take an aptitude test. I took an aptitude test. It was the Myers-Briggs test. It was 2 parts. The results of the first part I would like to put on my tombstone. It was really wonderful the way it described me. The second part, it said I was lazy and this and that. And like, you're an ENJW or whatever. I don't know what those letters were for describing me, but my boss said, whoever is this, they have to change or they have to leave. And it made me so angry. I said, that's not who I am. And I asked everybody in the meeting, said, is that who I am? And they said, no. So the guy running the test said, well, they've done this all over the world. And except for like in a couple of cases, or in the case of French Canadians, they always get the right results from this. And we had one guy in the group, Steve, was French Canadian, and he got the same thing, I think, as I did. And a tiny bit of my family ancestry is French Canadian, but I'm not sure if that means anything. But yeah, that aptitude Myers-Briggs thing. Because the second part, I was really tired at night, and I just kind of filled it out in a hurry and didn't really think about it. And maybe that's what happened. Spin a ball on your fingertip. Set up a breakfast nook. Go library browsing. When I was younger, I had no social life, unlike now. One of my favorite things to do was go in a big library and just browse book after book and just open up and see what was there. And it was really fun. Put together a great workout. Spend an hour blindfolded. I used to know a girl. She and her brother, she told me when they were younger, they spent a whole day blindfolded one day just to see. Or not to see, but sit in a cafe and people watch or go to the airport. Fill the car with gas. You don't want to ever do that. You want to fill the gas tank with gas. Filling the car up with gas is not a good idea. Tell someone about a book you enjoyed. Almost nobody enjoys it, as we're going to find out. Leave a dollar bill where someone will discover it. Set a beautiful table for family-only dinner. I'm thinking about doing something like that, having people over for lunch in the family. Nobody visits, but I'm thinking, when do I ask them to come over? Not that they eat. Why should I have to ask them? But I go to their place. How come they never come to my place? It's like Rocky and telling Meredith Burgess, like, how come you never come to my place?
What's the matter? You don't like my house? My house stink? That's right, it stinks!
Experiment with a different way to get somewhere, and I do that all the time. Read the fine print on everything, and I do that all the time. Everything's fine print now. Dress up for dinner at home. One time I dressed up to go to work. Very casual work. We were manufacturing there. But one day I said, let's do something different. I put on a suit and a tie. It baffled everybody. I wouldn't tell them why. Draw on a frosty window. Growing up in South Florida, anytime you had something that was really heavy-duty winter, it was exotic. Plan a fall leaf trip. Donate an ant farm to the kindergarten. Perfect your basketball layup. Do your banking. Participate in a beach cleanup. Devise a marketing strategy. Give your pet a massage. Name your appliances. I knew a guy on a ship, he was telling me to go over there buy that BYT. And I said, what's the BYT? He said, the big yellow thing. Buy a lottery ticket. When lottery came to Florida, that was a wonderful time. The first few weeks, everybody was thinking they were going to be a millionaire. Even to this day, when you buy a lottery ticket, you turn around and you got a big smile on your face. So you see people in line, they just think they're going to win. One of the best days of work I ever had was me and a friend. He was from Honduras, Guatemala. He had been a veterinarian. He came here and ended up working with us. And when the lotto first came out, we spent the whole morning talking to each other while we were working what we were going to spend our money on in extremely fine detail. It was a wonderful day. Make sure all the doors are locked every day. Build something amazing with Legos. Make a water slide. I've done that when I was a kid. Ask questions about others' opinions. Fill a basket with a blanket, a good book, and a snack and head for the park, which nowadays is usually filled with homeless people. Ask for a back scratch or back rub on your way to human resources. Create a world of your own wherever you happen to be. Arrange a vase of flowers. Hang a do not disturb sign up for a while and use your office, bedroom, porch, or yard as a refuge. Sanctuary. Spend an hour alternating between 15 minutes outside and 15 minutes inside. Go out in the woods alone and just think, I have to drive for hours to get to the woods. I did find a vacant lot area that has a big pile of dirt that's overgrown with trees. And when you go over the pile, there's a big pond surrounded by trees. There's houses like 100 yards away behind the trees and bushes, so nobody can see you. But it's like being in the woods. And it's Broward's got almost 2 million people, so finding something like that is just incredible. Allow yourself a Zen moment. Give yourself a head start on something. I'm almost the last page now. Get someone a welcome back present. Everyone wants to feel welcome and appreciated. Fill out a timeline with your major life events. That's actually a wonderful thing. Think about all the things you've done that you can be proud of, that were hard to do, that you overcome, that you feel good about. It makes you, when you're down, sometimes you can look at the list and say, yeah, I did that. That's me. Learn to whittle. Do a face the wall meditation, sitting 12 to 18 inches away from a completely blank wall. Add a blanket to the bed. Do an all-night vigil outdoors. Whip up a batch of blueberry muffins. Discover the backstory of an object, which is kind of interesting sometimes. Feel your breath. Fill your lungs. Decide to ask a question. Wait for a butterfly to fly by. Dance in a public fountain. Don't do that. They're usually full of pee. Vacuum the coils on the refrigerator. When COVID came, my refrigerator went out. The motor on the condenser, whatever, broke. And I didn't want anybody to come in the house, so I found a fan like this big. And I put it behind the refrigerator and plugged it in. For 9 months, nobody came. I didn't call anybody. Finally, I called them and they came. And they said, we've never seen anybody do this before. But it worked. Compile a book of unique recipes from friends, family, neighbors. Try something new and discover how to train a bonsai tree. Here, bonsai. Here, boy. Here, bonsai. So that's only 10 pages, and there's 390. So yeah, you got 39 more episodes like that in the book Life is Calling. So I think it's worth the time. You're going to find something in there that might give you pleasure. You can get these books usually on Amazon used for practically nothing. So they don't cost very much. And I recommend 14,000 Things to Be Happy About. And I haven't read this one much, 1001 Ways to Live in the Moment, because I'm too busy living in the moment. And 8,789 Words of Wisdom, which are aphorisms. But it's I think my two favorite are these two, 5203 and 14,000 Things to Be Happy About. I'll leave a link on the video description of the link to that video review I did too. So guys, I don't get a lot of views on my book reviews, but I enjoy doing them, and this is a variety channel. You never know what you're going to find, because I never know what I'm going to put on. Put a new stuff every week. Been doing it for 15, 16 years. Got over 1,200 videos, bunch of playlists, and a bunch of cool people I featured on the bottom. No relation to me. They would not anyway. Go check it out. And y'all, instead of being on your phone, you know what to do now. All right, take care. See you out there.